within the internet we know, where giants like YouTube, Facebook, and Google dominate, lies a shadowy realm hidden from prying eyes. This is the dark web, a digital underworld where anonymity reigns and the rules of the surface world dissolve. Picture it as the internet's dark alley, a place where secrets thrive, boundaries blur, and danger lurks behind every click. In this murky corner of cyberspace, one name once ruled supreme: Silk Road. This wasn't just a website, it was the most notorious black market in history, a digital bazaar where anything from drugs to weapons to human organs could be bought with a few clicks. Boardroom Secrets is diving into the gripping, true story of Silk Road, a tale of ambition, betrayal, and a young dreamer who built an empire only to see it crumble under the weight of its own darkness. Imagine a world where you could order illegal drugs as easily as a book from Amazon, delivered discreetly to your doorstep. That was Silk Road's promise. Dubbed the Amazon of drugs, it offered a staggering array of illicit goods: cocaine, heroin, fake IDs, hacking tools, even rocket launchers. All transactions were cloaked in anonymity, powered by the Tor browser and Bitcoin, the untraceable cryptocurrency that became the lifeblood of this underground empire. In its peak, Silk Road raked in over $1.2 billion in revenue, with millions in commissions flowing to its enigmatic creator. But who was the mastermind behind this audacious operation? A criminal genius? A ruthless kingpin? No, it was Ross Ulbricht, a soft-spoken physics graduate from Texas, a former Boy Scout who grew up in a loving family, dreaming of changing the world. How did this unlikely figure become the architect of the dark web's most infamous marketplace? Let's unravel the story. Ross Ulbricht's journey began innocently enough. Raised in a warm middle-class home, he was the kid next door, bright, curious, and full of ideals. As a college student, he dove into libertarian philosophy, passionately arguing that governments shouldn't control what people put in their bodies. To Ross, the war on drugs was a farce, no different from banning fast food or cars, which kill millions through obesity or accidents. He dreamed of a free market where individuals could trade anything without interference, a utopia unbound by laws. But his early ventures flopped. A string of failed startups left him frustrated, searching for meaning. Then, in 2010, a spark ignited his vision: Bitcoin. This revolutionary cryptocurrency, untraceable and decentralized, was the key to his dream. Combined with the Tor browser, a tool originally developed by the US Navy for secure communication, Ross saw a way to create a marketplace beyond the reach of any government. From his cramped bedroom, Ross poured his heart into coding what would become Silk Road, named after the ancient trade route that connected empires. It was a bold vision, a platform where anyone could buy or sell anything, no questions asked. To kickstart it, Ross took a daring step. He rented a remote cabin and, following a guidebook, grew psychedelic mushrooms. These became the first products listed on Silk Road, a modest start for a site that would soon host everything from ecstasy to cyanide. Launched in early 2011, Silk Road was a gamble, couldn't even advertise on Google or social media, so he turned to guerrilla tactics, posing as a curious buyer on niche forums like Shroomery, a community for psychedelic enthusiasts. His subtle posts sparked interest, and soon the first orders trickled in. Ross packaged his mushrooms using padded envelopes and a labeling machine from his day job at a Texas bookstore, shipping them like any online order. Word spread like wildfire, and Silk Road exploded. Buyers flocked to the site for its convenience and anonymity, while sellers joined in droves, listing everything from marijuana to fake passports. Ross took a 6.23% commission on every sale, and the money poured in. To build trust, he created a rating system, much like eBay or Amazon, letting buyers and sellers review each other. The platform's success was dizzying. Within months, Ross was earning thousands daily, a far cry from his failed ventures. He shared his excitement with his girlfriend Julia, but she grew uneasy. The site wasn't just selling mushrooms anymore. Hard drugs like heroin and cocaine were now listed, alongside weapons and hacking tools. Julia feared the consequences: overdoses, tainted drugs, or worse. What if someone dies? She asked. Ross brushed it off, insisting his rating system weeded out bad sellers. But Julia's words lingered, a warning of the darkness to come. Silk Road's rise didn't go unnoticed. A 2011 Gawker article blew the lid off, calling it a black market for drugs. Major networks like ABC and NBC piled on, painting Silk Road as a digital den of sin. The publicity was a double-edged sword. It drew thousands of new users, but also caught the eye of law enforcement. The FBI, DEA, and IRS formed a task force to hunt the mastermind behind Silk Road, known only as Dread Pirate Roberts, a nod to the swashbuckling alias from The Princess Bride. Ross, now using this moniker, thought he was untouchable, hidden behind Tor's encryption and Bitcoin's anonymity. But his inexperience would prove his downfall. The first crack appeared when Julia's friend, Erica, overdosed on drugs bought from Silk Road. Furious and reckless, Erica posted on Facebook, publicly accusing Ross of running a drug website. Panicked, Ross deleted the post and begged her to stay silent, tears streaming down his face. The betrayal stung, and his relationship with Julia crumbled. She gave him an ultimatum: shut down Silk Road or leave her apartment. Ross chose the site, packed his bags, and fled to Australia and Vietnam and across Asia, living in hostels while managing Silk Road from internet cafes. He was a global fugitive, haunted by the fear of capture, always glancing over his shoulder. Yet, the money kept flowing. Millions in Bitcoin, enough to make him a kingpin in the shadows. As Silk Road grew, so did its problems. Ross's code, built single-handedly, was riddled with bugs. A glitch once caused him to lose money on every transaction, forcing him to pause new registrations. Hackers demanded Bitcoin ransoms, packages were seized, and customer complaints flooded in. Overwhelmed, Ross hired a team of trusted users to help manage the site: coders, moderators, and customer service reps, all sharing his libertarian ideals. They saw Silk Road as a revolution, not just a business, but the platform was spiraling out of control. Listings for rocket launchers, cyanide, and even human organs appeared, pushing Ross's free market to chilling extremes. When a moderator suggested allowing kidney sales, Ross hesitated. This wasn't his vision, but his libertarian principles stopped him from intervening. Silk Road, he argued, was just a platform, like eBay. Users could do what they wanted. That decision would haunt him. The community around Silk Road grew into a cult-like movement. Ross hosted weekly movie nights, streaming films like V for Vendetta to rally his followers around anti-government ideals. Contests offered drugs as prizes, but tragedy struck when a winner vanished, likely dead from an overdose. Ross joked about turning the prize into a rehab program, but the humor couldn't mask the growing darkness. His mentor, a user named Variety Jones, urged him to embrace the Dread Pirate Roberts persona fully, like the mythical pirate passed down through generations. It was a shield. If caught, Ross could claim someone else had taken over. But Variety Jones also pushed him toward darker choices, warning that Silk Road's success had painted a target on his back. The FBI was closing in, piecing together Ross's mistakes. A critical error came early. In 2011, Ross had posted on a Bitcoin forum using his real name and a personal email promoting Silk Road before switching to an alias. Later, he ordered fake IDs to expand his servers, but they were intercepted by customs. The package listed his real address in San Francisco, just blocks from an internet cafe where the FBI traced Silk Road's admin login. Another clue surfaced when agents seized a server in Iceland and found its hostname set to Frosty, the same name as Ross's laptop. The puzzle was coming together. Ross Ulbricht, the idealistic dreamer, was Dread Pirate Roberts. The final blow came on October 1st, 2013, in a San Francisco public library. Ross sat in a quiet corner, logged into Silk Road's admin panel, unaware that FBI agents were watching. To catch him red-handed, they needed his laptop open and unencrypted. Two agents staged a loud argument nearby, distracting Ross as he turned to look. In that split second, another agent snatched his laptop, while others pinned him down and cuffed him. The screen still glowed with Silk Road's admin dashboard under the username Frosty. The evidence was undeniable: chat logs, transaction records, and years of incriminating messages. Ross's empire collapsed in an instant, but the story doesn't end there. The laptop revealed a shocking twist. Two federal agents, Carl Force and Sean Bridges, were corrupt. Force, posing as a drug lord named Knob, had extorted Ross for $750,000 in Bitcoin, selling fake case information. Bridges, meanwhile, stole $350,000 in Bitcoin from Silk Road by hijacking an admin's account, Curtis Green. When Ross suspected Green of the theft, he turned to force, unknowingly hiring the corrupt agent to kill Green for $80,000. Force staged a fake murder, complete with photos, tricking Ross into believing it was real. Ross later ordered 5 more hits on suspected scammers, paying hundreds of thousands, but no bodies were ever found. The assassins were likely con artists, or Force himself, pocketing the cash. These chilling orders, though unfulfilled, painted Ross as a monster in court. In 2015, Ross faced trial, charged with drug trafficking, money laundering, and running a criminal enterprise. His defense claims Silk Road was a social experiment gone wrong, sold to another, Dread Pirate Roberts. But the evidence, his laptop, chat logs, and millions in Bitcoin commissions, was overwhelming. The prosecution highlighted Silk Road's toll, overdoses, ruined lives, and a surge in opioid deaths during its run. The judge, unmoved by Ross's tearful letter begging for a second chance, sentenced him to 2 life terms plus 40 years, no parole. The harshness sparked debate. Supporters saw Ross as a visionary, arguing Silk Road's rating system made drug deals safer than street trades. Critics countered that it fueled addiction and death, with Ross profiting from the chaos. Ross's legacy is a paradox. Silk Road's 1.2 million transactions generated nearly 10 million Bitcoin in revenue, worth billions today. Yet, his dream of a free market became a nightmare, enabling untold harm. Like Walter White in Breaking Bad, Ross started with noble intentions but was consumed by power and greed. Even after Silk Road's fall, copycat sites like Silk Road 2.0 emerged, only to be shut down when their operators repeated Ross's mistakes. The Dread Pirate Roberts mantle lives on, a symbol of rebellion for some, recklessness for others. Ross, now in a cell, remains a polarizing figure, a cautionary tale of idealism twisted by ambition, and a reminder that even in the digital shadows, no one is truly untouchable.